Hello folks, it's the Pace Chaser again. Welcome to another one of my videos. This is another one of the model reviews that I do from time to time where we look at some of the older diecast models that are available on the second-hand market. And today we've got the Corgi Original Omnibus Company OOC Roe Bus. So there were 20 different liveries done of the Roe vehicle. 5 of those were trolley buses. There were 9 different releases of those. They did an A and a B release of a lot of the liveries. In other words, there were 2 versions with different destination blinds. Generally, they were the same at registration and fleet number, they just had different destinations, as I say. So there were 5 liveries done on trolley buses. One of those represented a carrier trolley bus and the other 4 represented a Sunbeam. As I said, there were 9 different releases altogether with different destinations and things. And there were 15 releases of the Motorbus version. 15 different liveries, should I say, and 27 different releases. The one we're looking at is the catalogue number OM41415A in the livery of Grimsby Cleethorpes Transport. There was also OM41415B, so there were 2 variations of this one, and the destination is different on them. I'll talk about that in a little bit. There were different bonnets done. This one has a Daimler bonnet. There were various different types that were represented by the same bonnet. There was an unspecified Daimler CVG. Some of them were marketed as Daimler CVG 6, in other words 6-cylinder engine, although that doesn't make any difference to a diecast, you can't see the engine. Some of them were Daimler CSG 6s. Again, the only difference in real life was that the CS had a manual gearbox rather than a semi-automatic one. And this one is a Daimler CSG 5. But you can't, again, tell the difference between that and the other types of Daimler. So it's a Daimler bonnet, basically. They also did a Leyland bonnet, the Leyland PD2. Did an AEC bonnet, the Regent 5, and a Guy one as well, the Guy Arab 4. So there were different variations across the 15 liveries, and as I say, 27 releases. So this particular one, the Grimsby Cleethorpes Transport, all of the ones released, all 1,000 of them represented fleet number 111, registration MEE351, as you can see there. 525 of them were the OM41415As with destination 8 to Humberston, and the other 475 were 41415B with destination 9 Barnley Lebec. Normally they would do 500 of each. I'm not quite sure why they did slightly more of the A variant. Just one of those strange things, really. The real vehicle was new to Grimsby Cleethorpes Transport in July 1959, and as far as I'm aware, it worked for them for its entire service life. So let's have a look around the casting, and we start as always with the front. The front dome and the windows there look really good. The Roe bodywork was quite handsome, and that's captured quite well on this model. And the windows looked fairly delicate upstairs, which they do on this one. Destination blind, as you would expect on most diecasts, just printed on so you can do different styles of it across the releases. Advert there for Rentex TV rentals. Advertising was quite prominent on Grimsby buses, as you will see as we go around it. The windscreen area, nicely represented. The wiper part of the screen there, rather than being a separate add-on. It's moulded onto the screen and picked out in silver, but it looks quite effective. Got the mirrors there. Not as flimsy as they look. They are quite small items, but they're quite solid as well. No movement there when you try and sort of move them. But they'll be quite easy to snap off if you hit it in the wrong place, so just be careful, obviously. Side lights modelled there, the headlights quite nicely done. There's a bit of a attempt to make it look like glass, and the grille looks quite effective as well. Go around to the near side. Again, it's a nice model. The wheels are not the best I've ever seen, but they're not bad at all. The lifeguard rail there, fairly solidly modelled as well, so you'd struggle to snap that one off. Bonnet area, the overall shape and size, pretty good. These diecasts of this era, this was released in March 2014. They had the flush glazing, which you can see there. The sliding windows are printed on. Again, that's so they can do different variations. They could do like hopper vents and things. They don't look particularly effective, to be honest. The thicker bit there is the bit that will actually slide, but you can tell it's printed onto the window. It doesn't look 100% or certainly not close up anyway. From a normal viewing distance it doesn't look too bad. I'll just zoom out a little bit and try and get the camera to focus again. There we go. As you can see, it looks fairly effective from there. I do them a little bit of a disservice by going up as close as I do. They're not intended to be viewed from, you know, so close really. Generally, level detailing is quite good. This is one of the later versions of the Grimsby Cleethorpes blue and cream livery. They had a version with cream around the lower deck windows and I think around the upper deck windows earlier on with these buses. They were painted later on in their careers into this kind of slab livery with just the green bit in between, the cream bit sort of in between the decks there. I don't know if you can see the nice moulding there on the platform, the texture of the floor. That looks really effective. If we go around the back, again the shape and the detailing is pretty good. It looks exactly like it should for a row-bodied bus. The windows are very nice indeed. You've got the registration plate recessed in as it should be. And the lights are part of the casting as well, so there is some relief to them. That looks pretty good. Destination below printed on again, and again the ever-present adverts on the Grimsby bus there. Round to the offside, pretty similar to the near side. Again, it looks pretty nice from a normal viewing distance. The windows, if you go a little bit close up, you can tell they're printed on. But again, it looks fairly effective from here. Not much to report on the roof, as you would expect of a bus representing this era. But the panel lines are part of the casting and look effective. And then we flip it over, there's a representation of the underside of the engine and gearbox, the drivetrain and some of the chassis members as well. Just look at the interior. It is quite nicely detailed. You can't really see it inside the bus, unfortunately. The only way to appreciate it really is to set the bus apart and to have a look at it separately. But it's done in a green colour, which may or may not be accurate for what it's supposed to be representing. I'm not 100% sure. You can see just about the detail of the separate handrails on the back of the seats as well that's modelled on. So it would benefit from taking the bus apart and painting the interior just to pick the detail out, if you could bring yourself to do that. As I say, this particular release was done in March 2014. The first of this row-bodied bus, the first release was done in April 2006, and releases continued until May 2016. Up to press, that is the last one. The trolleybus casting was passed on to Atlas Editions as well. They did a version of it. I've done a review previously of the trolleybus version. I did an Atlas Editions and a Corgi one in the same review. I'll try and find that and put the link to it in the description to this video if you want to see it. But I did the Teesside Municipal Transport Atlas Editions one and the Teesside Railless Traction Board Corgi trolleybus. So as I say, I'll put a link to that in the description. So we come to prices. I did doing this review in May 2024, towards the end of May 2024, and I've had a look on eBay for the purposes of this video. It depends what you want really. The cheapest one I could find was £8 plus £2.94 postage and packing. That was for the trolleybus version and delivery of Maidstone, which was remarkably cheap for one of these. Cheapest motorbus I could find was £12.50 plus £3.90 postage and packing. So £16.40 all in. That was a Samuel Ledyard AEC Regent 5. And the most expensive motorbus I could find was £44.99 plus £4.99 at postage and packing, so just a whisker under £50, and that was for the Ipswich AEC Regent 5. So some of them are quite sought after and quite expensive. The Glasgow Daimler was also quite expensive as well, and the Doncaster CVG6 about £40 for that one. So again, that was quite sought after. There was somebody selling a Wolverhampton trolleybus for £83.49 including postage. That seems massively excessive. I'm sure you can get one for less than that if you tried. And as always, the key to eBay is just to shop around. There are people charging massive prices. Sometimes it's because the model is rare and sought after, and other times it's because the people selling it don't have any real idea of what it's worth. They've just picked a figure out of the air, basically. I also had a look at the Liz Keith website. They were selling these kind of vehicles between £14 and £30. The Grimsby release that we're looking at, Liz Keith had it for £26. There were various ones on eBay. The cheapest I could find on there was £27.30 plus £5 postage and packing. and it went up to about £41.50 including postage and packing. So the Grimsby one is quite sought after and reasonably pricey. That's because, as I said, they're running 1,000 of them done all in, 525 of the version that we're looking at and 475 of the other version with the alternative destination. But it is a nice model. It does look quite good. The casting is pretty delicate and it's nicely done. It does capture the look of the roe-bodied bus very well indeed. I am a fan of roe-body work. I did a history of them for my friend's website, and they did do some very handsome buses, and it does capture the prototype pretty well. So I do recommend it. As I say, they are generally quite fairly expensive. I mean, you can get some a little bit cheaper, as I've just said, but it is worth having them in your collection. It is a nice model. So thank you for watching, take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.